Welcome,
There
Arm
you go.
Wrestling fans. I'm Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News, and today we have Ryan Bowen as our special guest. How are you doing, Ryan?
I'm really well, man. Thanks for having me on. What's going on?
Just doing my job, YouTube.
Yeah, nice,
And
nice.
so today we'll
There's plenty
briefly.
going on at the moment. That's cool.
Yeah, what?
There's plenty going on at the
Of
moment.
course,
That's for
of
sure.
course. And as a YouTuber, sometimes we think that right now we have good content, but what will happen in next month? We don't know. But next month something big comes up. Next month something even
Yeah.
bigger comes up. It has been the trend for past 1 year almost.
Yeah, it's been good. I agree. I've often looked forward and just thought, I have no idea what's going to be after this match. But yeah, everyone keeps producing, and it's even through COVID, we've still had lots to talk about. So, and 2022, man, there's no shortage of matches to talk about in 2022. So, happy times.
So we will briefly talk about some, of course, your match at King of the Table 3 and the upcoming matches on January 8th, Travis versus Brandon and Lachlan Adair versus Todd Hutchings and East versus West on February 12th, and then King of the Table 3 and briefly about King of the Table 4. So where do you want to start, man? January 8th?
Man, yeah, let's start with January 8th. That's a match that I am looking forward to so much. Like I've been saying it for such a long time. I've always been a big believer that Australia's level was a lot higher than we were given credibility for from the international scene. We haven't had many Australians get overseas and actually pull. When I say that, we have. In 2019, we had Ben Carroll finish 5th at the Zloty in the super heavies, which was a big deal. I've had WAL matches and I've pulled here and there as well. I've had good success in the USA. I went 2-1 at Zloty, so I went out with an 11th. Jordan Davis did really well, but we still, even to this day, we don't get the credibility I'm convinced, and we're going to find out on January 8th whether I'm right or whether I'm way off, because I believe that January 8th will be a day where we see that the best in Australia should be considered amongst the elite of the world ranks. Yeah.
Okay. And of course, I'm not experienced on this, but I believe that once someone reaches that top level from a country, like Lachlan Adair may be that guy for Australia, then other guys can chase that level. But if nobody is at that level, it is really difficult for a country as a whole to get on that level.
Then you know what that level feels like. Like I'm fortunate that I've had the opportunity to travel, and I've felt the hands of many elites, particularly the North American elites. I felt Devin, I felt John, I felt Travis, I felt all these hands and kind of know what to expect. I felt guys in my weight category, Dan Mosier, Dallas Langston, Raymond Antonovich, I've pulled Petrenko. I've felt it in a number of people, and this is why I'm so convinced of Lachlan. Is what I feel in Lachlan is bigger than anything else I've ever felt. I've never touched a hand that feels as strong as Lachlan's right now. So I can't wait. I'm super excited. I've felt Todd Hutchings when he's prepared. I stayed at Todd Hutchings' home for about 3 nights prior to his match with Devin Larratt. And Todd is someone who trains right up to the day before his match. So he was cool for me to have a feel. And yeah, he felt mega. But oh man, is Lachlan feeling mega. And for me, I'm just really excited because look, win, lose or draw, I'm really excited. I had my opinion on how my guess is on how this match is going to go. But win, lose or draw, it is an update. And it's unfathomable for me to see Todd Hutchings beating Lachlan Adair comfortably. If Todd wins, he is going to have an absolute bloodbath of a war with Lachlan. You can't pin Lachlan Adair easily. No one. I think only people like Vitaly Letin and Levan would do it easily. They were the only people on earth that I think could pin him quickly. Everyone else would have to work really, really hard. And Todd Hutchings doesn't have the tools to pin Lachlan quickly. If Todd Hutchings is going to win, it's going to take him 20 seconds to pin him every time.
So what about Lachlan's endurance levels? Because right now he's so strong, so dominant. It is really difficult
Yeah.
for anyone in Australia to test his endurance. But endurance is something like, I believe that you cannot magically double in period of
Yeah.
2 years or maybe even 1 year. So when Lachlan was
No,
competing at you guys level, what was his endurance like?
Lachlan's endurance is bad. I don't believe him to have good endurance, but what he does have, Lachlan will describe himself as a sprinter. Even though he doesn't have endurance in a match, in one round, he'll fade out fast. He refreshes really quickly. You give him a minute off, and oh man, he comes back like he's ready to go hard again. So he refreshes his explosive strength really well. But if a match does stop, he's not an endurance guy. No, he will. If a match stops with him and Todd, and they are in an even hand-based position, then Todd will win. The only circumstance where Lachlan will outdo Todd is if he has control. If he's taken away the control of the hand and wrist to Todd, and Todd's really exposed, then Lachlan will be fine. Just sit there and wait. But Lachlan has a press to finish as well. Lachlan has a top roll. Lachlan has a hook, and he's strong in all the lanes. He's conditioned in all the lanes. So, but you expect to see no mucking around from Lachlan, and in particular in the early rounds. He intends to go 4 rounds really bad, really hard, really fast. And yeah, then come round 5, if Lachlan is up 4-0 in round 5, he'll say to Todd, let's go into hook and see what you can do. So yeah.
So this is the endurance part is something that a lot of people are betting on Todd Hutchings. Maybe because like even I said in my video, my prediction was also this, that I will not be surprised at all if Lachlan is able to take 1 or 2 rounds of Todzilla. Because Corey West also did, and I have no reason to believe that Lachlan isn't at least on Corey West level yet. I believe at least he should be at that level. So this is what I was thinking, that he may be able to take a couple of rounds, but in a hook, Todd Hutchings like has one of the top endurances in the world. So if you are not like really overpowering him,
the thing about the endurance is I think I only see one lane where Todd wins, and it's if he manages to get Lachlan fully supinated. If Lachlan doesn't become fully supinated, I think Lachlan has the power to just pin Todd. I think he can pull Todd's arm straight to the pad. He doesn't need to take his wrist. I think if Lachlan is like this, his wrist flexion and drag, he'll just pin Todd. So Todd must get Lachlan like this. If he gets him like that, then yeah, Lachlan's in trouble. Lachlan will hang around for 10 seconds there and then realize he's gone and he'll lay down. He won't. Lachlan wouldn't fight if he gets fully supinated. But getting Lachlan fully supinated, oh my goodness, that dude's bicep strength, the back pressure he has, and the wrist flexion. If you come diving forward at Lachlan, his wrist flexion is so mega that you end up in such a bad position. So again, I just don't see. I honestly don't see it. I genuinely am confident. I think that my thing is, like I said, the Australian update. I think my anticipated result for this is that Lachlan will win, and he'll be immediately in the conversation of you'll see people saying Lachlan's top 10 in the world overall after this. I think just like Ermes Gasparini was thrust up to as high as number 3 in the world after training pools with Vitali, I think if Lachlan does to Todd what I believe he will do, you'll see Lachlan in that conversation. And my honest appraisal of Lachlan is he's somewhere 10 through 20 in the world ranks right now. That'd be my guess. If I had to guess and I had to throw a dart, I'd say 10 through 20 is where Lachlan is on the overall ranks in the world. And this match will really determine that, because Todd is someone 10 through 20. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Depending on the heavy Todd is 10 through 20, somewhere in those ranks. So Lachlan will be right there with him. There's no way Todd can beat him easy. I believe Lachlan will win. I believe he'll win convincingly. And depending on the nature in which the match goes, there's going to be a big update, and a big update on Australia. It'll also no doubt change the opinion polls on my match with Rob too, because I mean, if Todd crushed Lachlan, everyone would be like, RBJ is going to murder Ryan. But if Lachlan crushes Todd, everyone's going to go, oh, actually, RBJ, you better be careful. So we'll see.
We are going to talk
I
about
can't wait.
your match, but that is for the later part of this video. And
Okay.
you briefly mentioned speed, and we have seen that Todd does a lot of research on his opponents. So leading up
Yeah,
to
he
the
does.
Corey West match, his research were that Corey West is a little bit faster than him, not a lot, but just a little bit faster than him. And leading up to this match, he has said that Ryan is faster than me off the go, and Lachlan is faster than him off the go. So about
Mm.
speed, he has said that. So I will be surprised if Todd beats him round one. I'm truly expecting Lachlan to beat him round one because of speed and explosivity, just like Corey West did. Maybe even round two, but man, I'm having really difficult time unless Lachlan pulls out a top roll. I'm having really difficult time seeing him do the same thing 3 times to Todd Hutchings in a hook.
Mm.
So this is
Well,
how.
I watched Todd's analysis of Lachlan's matches, and I don't know if Todd's bluffing or if Todd's. I think Todd's reverse psychology is what I'm saying. He made comments that Lachlan loses when it's hand on hand and Lachlan wins when it's wrist on wrist. I think he's trying to bait Lachlan to go wrist on wrist and pretend that his weakness is here. Lachlan's hand is not weak. Lachlan's hand is his friggin' ace. Trust me. Like Todd wants it wrist on wrist. He desperately wants it wrist on wrist. Todd doesn't want to have this high hand battle.
He said that before the Corey West match as well. He said that Corey West likes to go wrist on wrist, and I don't enjoy going wrist on wrist. It hurts. he was always doing like that.
That's hilarious. So Todd's talking out his ass when he says that, because I know he wants it wrist on wrist with Lachlan, because that's where he's going to get him fully supinated. I know Lachlan would happily take a higher grip. If Todd was going to take a higher grip as well, and they're going to play this little hand battle, man, Lachlan would have won very comfortably, because there's no way Todd's going to supinate Lachlan from that position. So I think that was just tactics trying to put doubt in the mind of Lachlan. But Lachlan's very, very set. I think he's got a very accurate plan. What he intends to do, he has options A, B, C. He's anticipating well, I think, what Todd is going to do. He's aware of what Todd's true strengths are, which, let's face it, it's wrist on wrist, and it's supinated endurance and elbow-based blocking ability. Todd's got a slightly shorter arm than Lachlan, so Lachlan will have the high ground naturally. I don't see either of these guys slipping, particularly round one. I see Todd holding on. I think if someone was to run and try to slip in round one, it'd almost be a concession that they are the weaker man. And I expect both of these guys to come out saying, I'm the stronger man. So I expect both guys to hold on round one. And because of that, that's gonna cost Todd the round. Absolutely. I think Todd needs the strap. But I think round one, if Todd just tries to hold on, yeah, explosive hit from Lachlan would go straight to the pad. Interestingly, when Todd pulled Corey West round two, I saw Todd really got down pressure on as the key, and he made Corey uncomfortably low in his arc. I know that going low on Lachlan is horrible. I mean, I'm not Todd Hutchings by any stretch in a stylistic shape or anything, and I don't have the same strengths at all. But going low on Lachlan it's like walking into the fire. It's just like, I mean, his bicep strength is so ridiculously strong that I'm just not sure. For Todd to get that, he would need to get the jump. He would need to anticipate the referee really well, and he would need to get it set before the side pressure comes in, because one thing that Lachlan has is immensely strong center. Taking center off Lachlan, really tough. And so if Todd grips too low, Lachlan will just bang pressing. He knows that that's there. He's got full confidence that he can press, and he's seen Michael Todd flash press Todd. He's seen Jerry flash press Todd. If Todd Hutchings grips Lachlan too low, Lachlan will just simply press, and he'll do it with confidence. He's not scared of the connective tissue integrity. He'll just go, oh, you're gripping me that low, bang. Because he will win center. I do not believe Todd Hutchings likes to arm wrestle here. You don't see Todd arm wrestling here. It's always here. Where Lachlan, you will see Lachlan grab center, hold center, and say, what are you going to do about it?
So you were also talking about level that this match can kind of give you the data where even you are not only Lachlan Adair, because after that, maybe a month after that, on 12th February, Todd Hutchings is also going against Jordan Sonev, who's a WAF world champion. So that will also give good data on where Lachlan Adair is sitting. So if he's able to beat him and Sonev is not able to beat him,
it's interesting. Lachlan and Jordan have actually gripped up. I don't know if you've ever seen the footage, but there is, after pulling at the Zloty 2019, where Krasnodar, Kostadinov and Jordan turned up, and Lachlan had just pulled the tournament maybe 15 minutes before, but they gripped up both left and right, and whoever initiated won. And it didn't matter, both right and left. If they both eased in, it was just a nice battle. If Lachlan initiated, he pinned. If Jordan initiated, he pinned. So that was back then, 2019 practice table pulling. It is what it is, but it showed back then anyway that there was, in a power sense, very similar. So when I see all the yawn emojis from Todd Hutchings and I see people saying, "Oh, this is going to be so easy for Todd," they really have no idea what they're talking about. And they're going to be in for a shock, because the worst case scenario is Todd, from the Australian perspective, the worst case scenario is Todd wins by grinding out every round in a hell of a war. There is no fast, easy pin to Todd.
So let's hope it is a great match, and finally the beef that has been going on for almost 2 years now is settled. And before you
let's hope it's not a great match, Pradeep. Let's hope it's a 6-0 drumming to Australia.
Okay. I wish you luck. So before we move on to the next match, Travis Bagent versus Brendan Elsessor, I want to tell you, where can we watch these two matches? Like Todd Hutchings versus Lachlan and this match.
100%. So Travis called me about 3 days ago and said he needs some assistance with getting this up. He wants to do it as a pay-per-view. So I said, all right, look, I can help. We talked about it. And so this will be broadcast via my channel, my YouTube channel, Ryan Blue Bowen. It'll be in the members section. So you need to click the join now button, scroll down to the pay-per-view. It's it's $5.99 Australian, which works out to about $5 US or whatever it is. Wherever you're from with your currency, will convert automatically, but that will be broadcast there. For Brisbane, it's 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I think in Virginia, where the match is at, it's going to be at 9 p.m. that all of that kicks off. So 2 matches there. Yeah, Travis and Brandon Elsessor. Fascinating match, and Lachlan and Todd, no doubt, the headliner.
So what do you think about this YouTube pay-per-view platform, YouTube membership program as a pay-per-view platform?
I've been a big fan of it for a long time. I've wanted to do it for a long time. I haven't had the event to worthy of it yet. But I think it's a great opportunity. It's a great means for arm wrestling channels to start to promote their own thing. Because I mean, let's be honest, not a lot of YouTubers have the revenue to hire a Core Sports. Hiring someone like a Core Sports is going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars straight up. You're needing to fund. And that's a big risk that most people can't afford to take. But if you're monetized on YouTube, you can. And at the end of the day, a lot of good matches happen. A lot of good matches would be worthy of getting, I don't know, a few hundred people on a pay-per-view. And I think that the YouTube pay-per-view is great. YouTube takes 30% as a cut. So for instance, for this one coming up, YouTube's taking 30%, Travis is taking 40%, and my channel's taking 30% as well. So at the moment, as we sit, I think we've got about 70 people signed up. I'm not sure how many we're going to get. It's never been done before on my channel, so I don't know. But I think we might end up with a couple hundred people or something, which at the end of the day, a couple hundred people paying $5 helps fund your event. It helps you fund travel for athletes. It helps you pay referees. It helps you do things that expand and grow the sport. So I'm all for it. And it's good to see the community behind it as well, because at the end of the day, we're all just at the beginning of this journey and we're trying to grow the sport. And I think YouTube pay-per-view is a fantastic way for creators to be able to do that. So
is it possible, do you need any softwares to show multiple camera angles during a match, during a live stream?
This is something that I'm going through with Travis at the moment. I'm in talks with him about how he is going to present it. Naturally, if I was there, I would be able to do multi-camera angle and all that sort of stuff. No worries. I've got the cameras. I've got the equipment to change what's being broadcast live. I'm not anticipating that. I'm anticipating one fixed camera in a good position, getting the best view in the house. Because these matches are going to be happening behind closed doors. They're not going to be out where the tournament is, so there's not going to be everybody else there. It literally will only be the footage that comes out from this live stream. So I'm relying on Travis a lot to make sure. I said, Travis, you can't use the venue's Wi-Fi because it'll be terrible. You need to have your own Wi-Fi sorted or your own data with high speed data. And so Travis is like, don't worry, I got a guy. He's on data. I'm like, make sure he calls me very soon so we can discuss all this. But because it's my channel that's gonna get blasted if he does a shit job. Yeah. So I'll be I won't hesitate to refund people if the live stream is terrible.
I also think that YouTube pay-per-views via membership live streams can be the future for small creators. Like I mentioned this in one of my videos, like for Kirsten Prodigy, or even for Aussie Arm Wrestler, or even for me. If guys are like us are having a super match, not a lot of people are interested in that. Let's say 100 people are interested or 200 people are interested. And from those 200, about 30 people are willing to pay. So that can be the future for small level creators and small level arm wrestlers like us. YouTube live pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, I think it's great, and I'm not sure when we'll release the footage after it, but it might be 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. I don't know. That'll be up to Travis a lot. But I mean, for me, I've got no hesitations in paying for a pay-per-view of a match like that on a YouTube channel. That's fine. Like I'm someone, I see people spend that money on super chats every day of the week, it seems like. So to spend that to get access to a really cool matchup like that live, well worth it. Everyone likes live. No one, even if the replay comes out 10 minutes after, I want to see the live. I don't want to wait the 10 minutes and watch the replay. I want to see it live. I want that. Yeah, it's different. It's not the same when you watch it after. So
you know how I watched the WL matches when they released. The live is right now, suppose, and they released matches only a couple of hours ago in the beginning, the 400 series. So right from here, I was not able to fancy it. They were doing through fancy it, I think, and it was not available in India. So I used to watch these matches like this. So because WL used to show the scores on the thumbnail. So I covered the thumbnail part, and then I clicked on the video, and I don't even look at the timing because WL matches are very easy to guess. So if the video is about 12-13 minutes long, it means it is a clean sweep, 3-0. If the video is somewhere around 18-19 minutes long, then the score is 3-1 or 3-2. But if the video is about 25 minutes long, then it is a 3-2 war. So you can't even look at the timeline.
You need it live, don't you? You need it live.
Definitely need it live. So guys, I'll link Ryan's channel in the description. Please join there from clicking on the join button, and let's move on to the biggest thing is promoting it. Like a lot of people will be willing to join because it is easy. YouTube join button is the easiest thing, but the promotion is the big thing. So I hope we get it dialed in before the match is on. So let's talk about Brandon Elsessor versus Travis Bagent. I don't really know about Brandon Elsessor, not much. So have you seen a lot of his matches? And where do you see this match going?
Brandon Elsessor, I haven't pulled Brandon, or I haven't met Brandon. Did I meet Brandon? I can't remember if I met Brandon at my WAL. But either way, Brandon has been someone who's really emerged in the last 2 years. He was someone that 2 years ago, I believe, was ranked sort of 8, 9, 10 at the 210 weight, or the 220 sort of weight. He wasn't at the pointy end, but he was solid. And over the last 2 years, he's really evolved. I think he's really made a big step forward. And now he's the guy. He's like the dude at 220 now. He's crushing everyone. So I think Brandon Elsessor and Travis is a super interesting one, because obviously Travis has the caliber. The ceiling is higher on Travis, and as we've seen in the past, but we don't know where Travis is at when it comes to his status. He's been sitting on the couch just talking for a long time. How strong is Travis going to be? I wouldn't have a clue. I felt Travis, and Travis is a strong human, even when he's not really caring. But if he is caring for this match, then yeah, real legit. But Brandon Elsessor is solid, left and right. Travis, obviously, he's famous for left, but anyone who says Travis isn't solid right is missing a lot of information, because he's solid right as well. I think it'll be a very interesting match. I would expect Travis to win. Sure, I don't think Travis would take a match unless he knows he's going to win in this phase of where he's at. Because if he's going to make a comeback, he's not taking a loss. So I think he's ready, and he intends on hitting hard and looking good.
Because Engin, I think you're right when you say that Travis will only take a match when he thinks he's going to win. Engin Terzi mentioned that on his live stream. He said that he offered Travis a match to pull in his East versus West event, and Travis clearly said no. He was thinking about matching him up with Schoolboy right-handed, and Travis said no. Travis said no, that he won't be.
Yeah, wow, okay. Well, Travis needs to be paid a lot, and Travis makes decent money when he's running the event. When he's got control of the event, he's getting entry fees and all sort of stuff. He makes considerably more money than to accept a trip to Turkey and get paid $1,000 or $2,000 or something. I don't know what Engin's offering Travis, but I suspect money would have been him. I don't think he'd be scared of Schoolboy. I think Travis would be fine against Schoolboy. But
man, wait.
I do believe that money is the issue. Lost some light. Oh, good.
Yeah, light issues. So, and if you're saying that Travis could be the favorite in that match?
I think so. I think Travis will be the favorite. It's a good opportunity for Brandon Elsessor. At the same time, it's always a good opportunity to be able to have a match with one of the genuine elites of yesterday. I mean, John is kind of making a comeback. Saplenko's talking about comebacks. I would love for Travis. Travis is still young enough that he can still get back if he wanted to, but I don't know. I don't know if he ever will, but it's a cool match nonetheless.
And when we talk about Travis Bagent's preparation, I always remember the 2018 Moldova match against Georgi Svetkov. He was looking completely different. When you look at his biceps, it looked like he has 21, 22 inches biceps in that match. I don't know how he can improve that much.
I was with Travis 2 weeks prior to that match, and prepared Travis is really a beast. He really is. That was in Arizona, and it was only 2-3 weeks before he went over there to Moldova to face Georgie. And when Travis is prepared like that, and he looks like he's made of stone, he's a big guy. He's not a small human. Very explosive, and timing and manipulation. I don't know if there's anyone better in the elite super heavyweight division for winning the start than Travis. So yeah, he was monstrous for Moldova. If he looks anything like that, Brandon Elsessor will get crushed. I'm not sure Travis is taking it that seriously, but I anticipate somewhere in between the couch Travis and that Moldova Travis. I think somewhere in between is what we're going to get. And Travis should probably take it. I can't see him losing.
So guys, again, this match will also be with Lachlan Adair versus Todd Hutchings. So you can watch it on Ryan Bowen's channel as well. So please join. And let's talk about the Engin Terzi's event, East versus West on February 12th. We are not going to go deep into the matches, just as a whole event. What are your thoughts about that? Like, you've been a promoter yourself, you have organized not that level tournaments or super matches, but you have done that. So what kind of advice would you have, or what do you see going into that tournament? Or
well, for me, first of all, I just take my hat off to Engin that he's being active in that respect in a time during COVID when tournaments have disappeared. Super matches have really been the only option, because we can't rely on a whole bunch of people to turn up with the travel restrictions as they are. So super matches are great, and Engin stepped up. He stepped up to the plate and put on a bunch of events, and he seems to be growing in them. So well done to him. His production level is pretty solid. I mean, arm wrestling fans are pretty quick to jump to criticisms on quality, but when we remember that this is just an arm wrestler throwing it together themselves, often having to reach into their own pockets. This is not a company that's got big sponsors from corporate entities, and it's all starting from scratch. It's very difficult to start from scratch, and often you're a solo project manager when you're doing this, and so you're coordinating athletes, you're coordinating referees, you're coordinating venues, you're coordinating production. It's a lot, and you will struggle to do a really high production level. and Engin's doing well. So I take my hat off to him. The fact that he's got the respect of the athletes. That's the most important thing, that Engin is hugely respected from every arm wrestler on the planet. And so when Engin offers something, people take it very seriously, and they see it as very real, and they see it as an honor to be able to pull under Engin's event. And Engin invited me to that East West West, and I said to him, I would. It was actually to face him. And I said, look, of course it would be my honor. Given the date of it, I said I can't be certain that I would be able to travel yet for that. I would need to wait until January to find out. And so I said, look, just put it on ice for me at the moment. But yeah, I got immense respect for Engin, and I just encourage the fans to be patient with any production like this one, and enjoy the matches for what they are. If you have to listen to some dodgy audio or some bad commentary or some glitchy feeds or whatever like that, these are all the birth pains of growing the sport. So yeah.
Engin has said many times that the quality will be improved. He's working on the lights, cameras, everything. And Core Sports, this pay-per-view will be through Core Sports. So which is also a good thing. And there are two ways to buy it. So you can go to GoFundMe and buy it for $25. $10 will be for the pay-per-view, and $15 you can use as to support the event, or you can buy it through Core Sports with $10. The link is not available yet. So we'll come to the Core Sports part. And Engin also said that it is really difficult to be organizing an event and then competing yourself in a super match, because you have to look after hotels. You have to.
I've done that myself, and it's hard. I've organized, commentated, filmed, and competed all in the same event. And I tell you, it is hard to get up for a match and be your best when everyone else is dialed in and they've got their headphones in, getting psyched up, and they're having their pre-workouts, and you're sitting there running around checking on everything and getting the cameras set up. You're like, oh, you have 3 seconds to get yourself in the zone. So yeah, I agree with that entirely. Tricky.
And we also need to understand that Engin is having so many super matches, at least 15 super matches, just because he loves arm wrestling. Like, he could have had only Michael versus Gennady, Ermes versus Arif, John versus Zoloev, and a couple more big matches. He would have still sold almost as many pay-per-views as he is selling with 15, because usually people don't really care about the last or first matches, as to so to speak, in the beginning of the card. So he's doing that just to, and bearing the extra cost of inviting all the athletes, and for no particular reply, or what should I say, he's not getting anything back in return. Very less, just because he enjoys it.
Engin's really doing it for the sport. He's not doing it for profit, I don't believe, at all.
Exactly.
So profit is always good. And I want to encourage fans never to be angry or upset that a promoter is profiting. Promoters who profit put on bigger events next time, and they get better. But we need profit at events. We do. It's okay for Engin to profit. It's okay for anyone who's putting on an event to profit, because they are the backbone of the growth of the sport at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly that. And I heard John Brazing say that Larry Wheels and maybe in Core Sports made some profit from their first 2 events. That is the reason why they have announced 3 more events in advance. So the more profit the organizer gets, the more matches we get to see, more the athletes and referees get paid through that. So
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of capitalism. So I want Larry to make $1 million every time, because if he's making $1 million, then the sport's in a good place.
Yeah,
if he's making $1 million and I'm on the card, it means I'm making a decent amount too.
Yeah, right. So we wish Engin good luck for his event, and let's talk about King of the Table 3. Let's start with Gabby versus Sarah. What do you think about that match? I'm discussing all of the matches on that card because I'm discussing all of the matches on that card because you are also on that card. Other matches we won't discuss.
Gabby Sarah is a great match. I mean, Gabby obviously won the last one where she actually injured Sarah in the match. She tore Sarah apart, literally. And Sarah was out of action for 10 months, surgery, repair. And those two have been rivals their whole lives. Gabby has the winning record, but Sarah has defeated Gabby in the past. And the difference between last time and this time is really the headspace of Sarah. When they faced last time, Sarah was in a much more difficult place in her own personal life. And it wasn't the fired up, motivated, coming from a long run of just feeling good in her own world. Things have changed. Sarah's a totally different woman now. She's got the fire in her belly again. She looks way stronger now than she did when she went to that match. She's got a smile on her face when she's training, and she's back in her element. And I think that's going to have a really big factor in it. All that said, Gabby's a monster. Gabby's a 32-time WAF world champion. She just won her 31st and 32nd title just like a month ago or whatever. So Gabby is a monster. But Sarah, I think, is excited. I can't wait to be ringside on this one because I think the energy is going to be huge. I think Sarah's going to feel like she's got no pressure on her at all. With Gabby being the previous winner, I think Sarah's going to come out swinging hard, and the pressure will be on Gabby. I expect a great match. I expect it to go back and forth. I don't think we'll see dominance from Gabby like we did last time. I think we'll see knife edge this time. And I don't know who to put my money on.
Let's hope we see an exciting match. And I kind of enjoyed the time when Sarah Backman was on YouTube. She was uploading. Sarah Backman uploads a video, and in like 5-6 hours, that video gets 8,000 views. That was a great time.
Yeah,
but she has been off social media for quite some time right now, at least off YouTube. I still, for some reason, I don't know why, I still see Gabby winning that match dominantly.
Well, I mean, Gabby's a freak. So Gabby really is. I'm not sure what the weight is that these ladies are going to meet at. I know Gabby pulled 80 kilos at WAF. I think Sarah would be probably comfortable at 80, so it might just be 80 again. I think it was 80 when they pulled at WAL, but I know Sarah and Gabby can fluctuate between 75, 85, depending on where they want. So it could be anywhere. I think the heavier it is, maybe it suits Gabby. I think Sarah can possibly get lighter a little easier than Gabby. I think she's slightly smaller. But yeah, I mean, again, I agree. I get why you say Gabby's favorite, but if you go back beyond their last WAL, these guys were knife edge. They went back and forth multiple times, back and forth. They've always been rivals. They've always been killers. Sarah, like I said, Sarah went through a period in her life of 5 years or so where she was no longer in the sport. She was not active in the sport, and she was a former arm wrestler. And that's who she was when she faced Gabby at WAL. She had 3 months to prepare, and she was a former arm wrestler. She's an arm wrestler again now. She's excited. She's got the buzz back. And I expect her standard to have stepped back up to where she was.
Ryan, I think when you're saying they went back and forth, I'm thinking, I'm not sure, but I think you're confused with left and right hand. They went back and forth. Sarah won left and Gabby won right, because that has almost always been the case. I don't think Sarah has defeated Gabby more than once right-handed. Maybe definitely not in a super match. I have seen Sarah beat Gabby left-handed. Yeah, almost she won left-handed. And even I don't really think so that Sarah has defeated Gabby maybe one time right-handed. But I think Gabby has been dominant.
Okay, I could be wrong.
So let's talk.
If that's the case, then it is fair for Gabby to be the favorite. That said, I feel Sarah's going to bring a different level of energy this time than we've seen before.
Yeah, someone mentioned that I said in my video that I don't think Sarah has beaten Gabby any time right-handed, but someone mentioned that she has. So I'm also not really 100% sure about that. So let's leave that topic here and let's talk about Wagner versus Ermes.
Do we know which arm this is yet?
Not so sure. But my wild guess would be that first Core Sports wanted it to be a right-handed match. Then almost all of the fans rebutted. Everyone said that this is a mismatch. This is going to be a disaster if it is not left-handed. It has to be left-handed. Then I got a comment from Don Idris. And this is really good about Core Sports. I don't know about other channels, but he always almost comments on my videos whenever I make a video about Core Sports. Always responds without even asking. So he said that they're still looking. See, they're still thinking about it, whether it is left-handed or right-handed.
Okay. So they're gauging, yeah. And Don is the man. Don is the guy controlling everything at Core Sports, arm wrestling. So So if that's what Don said, that's what Don said. So I agree that right-handed it is a mismatch. Ermes is a higher established caliber on the right than Wagner is. Wagner's a beast, both in his own respect, but he's not a current top 10 elite. He's not where Ermes is. And so it would be a mismatch. I think Ermes would comfortably take his wrist, and it would be so good. Where left, Wagner is slightly better than his right. I don't know. I think he is left-handed. I'm not sure, but obviously he took a round off Devon Larratt at WAL. He surprised Devon when Devon was in control and thought he had him. He surprised him that he was able to come through and press hard as he did and actually get Devon to the pad. So he's better left, and Ermes is slightly less on left than he is on right. I don't think Ermes is a bad left arm puller by any stretch, but he's not the same caliber as his right. I agree it needs to be left. If we assume it's left, I still see Ermes winning. I still see Ermes winning. I see the wrist going back. I see Wagner defending with his wrist gone, but not being able to get his shoulder behind and just being stuck out here, defending. Kind of a lot like Gennady did. I see a very similar shape and a 4-0 victory for Ermes, or 6-0.
I think the biggest thing of concern for Wagner is going to be his cardio. Like in the Devon Larratt match, you really saw even during the slip, even before first round started, he was totally gassed out in that match. And I saw about a month or two ago, Wagner posted on his channel that he is 146 kilos. So over 325 pounds, something like that. If that is going to be the case, man is going to have a really hard time breathing on that table.
Well, so when we talk, his name is Jacked Jesus. I mean, I think that the dude's really big, and he's just getting bigger and bigger. So his fundamental strength is massive. His energy at the table is high, so he does consume a lot of aerobic capacity, even just in his antics. And that obviously is part of who he is. It psychs him up, it gets him strong in the mind. But there's a lot more clinical precision from Ermes. And if aerobic capacity is a factor, Ermes is in better shape for sure. So I see it that way as well. It's an uphill battle, but no doubt, Wagner is hungry and wants his opportunity, believes in himself, and I don't think he would have picked Ermes. I think he would have said, "Give me anyone. Just give me anyone." And Ermes is obviously on a roll at the moment in terms of his marketability. Ermes is quite high right now, so I think they've fed Ermes a win here, and just to keep his ascent, that ladder climbing that Devon has talked about. They've given him Wagner because Devon once beat Wagner, so Ermes can now be right on Devon's trail. I think that Ermes gets Wagner, Ermes gets Michael Todd. If he beats Michael Todd, Ermes gets Devon.
I think that this is going to be a difficult match for both. Initially, in the initial first 3-4 rounds, Ermes can struggle with Wagner's strength. And after that, because Devon usually, right now we have seen in the past 3-4 years, Devon usually top rolls people. But in that match, he was hooking Wagner. I'm not saying that he cannot top roll him, but he went inside. So I'm not sure if Ermes will be able to top roll him, Wagner, or not. But let's see. I can see that in first few rounds, he can struggle with the strength, and last couple of rounds, Wagner struggling with his own endurance. That could play a big factor in that match, in my opinion, over a period of 6 rounds. So I would say 4-2 Wagner Bortolato. Just a guess what it is.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, boom. Well, Wagner does have that utter commitment. Coming forward, he will press hard no matter what. Does he have the hand and wrist to keep access to that, or will Ermes blow it away? I don't know. We'll see. But if it's 4-2 Wagner, man, he will erupt with energy. So that'd be good.
Let's talk about your match now. I don't know about you and Rob, but I don't know about you and Rob, but we have been waiting for this match for a long time, and finally it is happening.
Yeah.